Nice damage. Okay. Interesting. He gets him low, below half, with his Q, and then the ticks from the red buff trigger Dark Harvest. Yeah, everything triggers Dark Harvest. It's so easy to trigger. This is the main problem with the rune. Welcome everyone to another Challenger analysis. This is patch 8.23 and the Dark Harvest changes are obviously the single most impactful thing for Miss Fortune this patch. Maybe turret platings help her too because, well, she's a lane bully and if she can win lane, she earns a lot of gold. But the new Dark Harvest is a crazy rune right now and I think it's impossible to balance. It's either overpowered because, well, it does too much damage and too easy to proc, or it is utterly useless because they will nerf the damage into the ground, I would guess, but it's still easy to proc, so it's just flawed by design. It will need another rework or it will be reverted, one or the other. But yeah, right now as it's busted, especially on Miss Fortune, it is time to watch my all-time favorite Dark Harvest Challenger tier level player, EmdielGG. I don't think he managed to finish... Nice flash. I don't think he managed to finish Challenger last season. But I don't care. He's still up there in terms of skill, so there's a lot we can learn from him. And obviously, he plays Dark Harvest because that has always been his playstyle. He's still going for the no boots Miss Fortune, so full lethality, no boots, all offensive items, all offensive runes. With the exception of a Taste of Blood. So his runes are Dark Harvest, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, Absolute Focus, and Gathering Storm. And Alistair looks to go down there. Yeah. I was going over runes, so I didn't quite catch what happened there. Yeah, but obviously, very aggressive rune setup. Oh, Alistair gets hooked, alright. And now Dark Harvest procs, and Ali goes down. Nice, yes. So already acquiring his first Dark Harvest stack, and on top of that, well, Thresh got the kill with Ignite. Unfortunate, but still very good. Alright, Helen roaming down. They're going to challenge him? Okay. I just took the... Okay, the Rakan mid stole it. Nice hook. Another Dark Harvest proc. Unlucky. Or did he proc it on Talon? Yeah, he's at 2 procs right now. Alright, alright. All in all, oh goodness. I was about to say all in all a fine roam, but then the LeBlanc assassinated him. I didn't see that coming, so, well, neither did Emdiel, obviously. And yeah, she just killed him over the wall. Obviously the minions giving her vision. And he being that close to a wall against the LeBlanc. Yeah, you need to anticipate stuff like that, but sometimes you just, yeah, you just don't think about it. It happens. He got another Doran's Blade, which is very much not typical of Emdiel. Usually he likes his long swords a lot, and he will buy a long sword whenever possible. He's sitting at 180 gold, so... I think he backed with 500 gold-ish. Oh my god, Alistair. Alistair hex flashing on the Miss Fortune, forcing out her flash. Unfortunate. Oh well. Back to laning though. Jinx got a massive advantage though, because she froze the lane, right? And she caught all these minions in experience and in gold, so she's a level ahead. Emdiel right now is therefore not able to fight her. One champion level, that's roughly 500 golds of stats worth, not counting in the skill points. And, well, obviously Jinx also got a gold advantage off of this. Yeah. Well, to be fair, she hasn't backed yet, so they should be even-ish in gold. No, yeah, they are. 1.5k, 1.5k roughly. Jinx is a little bit ahead, but not too much. The level disadvantage is the main concern here. And, okay, Alistair looking for another Hex Flash, but they saw him due to the ward. Luckily, Emdiel has no flash, so he has to fight. Because if he runs, he just takes 3 damage, so he has to turn. And luckily, Jinx gets hooked, so they should be able to get there. Yes. She will die though. Yeah. Ignite on her, and no runes such as Triumph. Taste of Blood was on cooldown, right? Yeah, so the Ignite is definitely going to finish her with the Alistar's base damage. Now we see the longswords though. So the typical build path is Emdiel just stacks longswords, and again the greedy stay from the Thresh. Emdiel stacks longswords and upgrades them into Duskblade as his first item. Then his second item is usually or always rather, the Yomu's Ghostblade. And then his third item, he goes for Last Whisper, so Lord Dominic's Regards. Sometimes he goes for another Serrated Dirk before going Lord Doms, but generally speaking, Lord Doms is his third item. And after that, he just buys an Edge of Night, and then, well, then he's at 4 items, no boots, and then he has space for... Sometimes he just buys another Serrated Dirk just for the extra lethality. The lethality passive from these items is a unique passive, so he cannot just buy another Duskblade or something. So another Serrated Dirk is his only way of getting more lethality, but his usual options for 5th and 6th item are Black Cleaver, Death Stance sometimes, Guardian Angel sometimes, but usually games don't go that late, so yeah, 4 items plus a Serrated Dirk is usually your endgame build. But Alistar Hex Flashing again, he doesn't seem to know... Yeah, he Hex Flashed into this bush without being seen. Well, he got spotted by the ward, but generally speaking, this is a nice play actually. Don't see you sneaking into that bush. Oh no, Emdiel got caught again. Thresh Land turns him away and Graves is there. So they should win this with numbers advantage. Yeah, MF gets a Dark Harvest Soul Stack and Alistar dies. Right, yeah, did the 2v3. Obviously in a situation like this, a 1 level disadvantage doesn't matter. And Jinx is level... she's out of vision. I really want to see her. She's level 5. Okay, Emdiel right now is also level 5, so there's not even a level disadvantage. They want to dive this, but Emdiel has different plans. And I also do not like this dive attempt at all, because you don't know where the enemy jungler is. Kinda iffy. Well, yeah, obviously you don't want to get blown out, and diving these towers is especially risky because they got a buff to their AD, and it takes very, very few tower shots to kill a level 5 Misfortune, or any champion for that matter. Oh well. The mid lane Rakan, I've not seen this before. But he's looking for a gank, apparently. Nice crit. And here we see the first Serrated Dirk and the other longsword. Oh goodness, he got comboed again. Not too bad if the Jinx cannot follow up, but you still want to avoid it. But now Alistar's abilities are on cooldown, Emdiel can do whatever he wants. Jinx just gets bursted. Yeah. Deciding not to chase the Alistar through all these minions. Minions deal a lot of damage, especially early game. And now even late game to some extent, because the scaling of minion damage got changed. Okay, so Jinx is on a BF sword now with Longsword and Dagger, obviously working towards Stormrazor. But Emdiel should have enough gold for his not his Dirk, his Duskblade? No, he does not. Alright, yeah, he takes the platings, then he might... Oh, goodness. Then he might have enough gold. Yeah, the platings are a lot. 2 platings... Yikes. Oh, nice reaction with the heal though. 2 platings, 2 points, 2 times 1 point... No, what am I saying? 2 times 160 is 320. And so it's like you and a teammate, if you are in the duo lane, sharing gold for a kill if you take out 2 plates. So you're pretty much a kill ahead as a lane, which is huge, obviously. Yes, but now Emdiel has money for his other component, and sitting on 200 something gold. I wonder why he didn't buy a control ward there. You always need to buy control wards in my opinion, even as an AD carry. Yeah, definitely. That's something you should get into the habit of. Just buy a control ward when you have spare money. I would even value a control ward over another longs. Well, if I'm... That's hard to explain. If I have 350 gold, I would obviously buy a longsword. But if I have enough... If I have control ward in my inventory, and I could sell it for another longsword, I would definitely keep the control ward. Understack gets cold. However, it's quite tanky, but with Dark Harvest, maybe? MF is full HP, so she can definitely fight, and Graves is nearby. Rakan is moving down, following his mid laner. Well, his mid lane opponent. Yeah, you shouldn't dive this, definitely. Oh, nice shot. No. Go away. Taking this tower shot is huge. Rakan killing the jungler. Alright. Talon jungle also not too common. This is high diamond or low master solo queue. This is Emdiel's second account, so I'm not sure where this is right now. Should have checked. I would guess high diamond. They cannot finish this turret. No chance. Yeah, does too much damage and it has too much armor. But taking an entire turret before 14 minutes with all the platings, it's just so much gold. Very nice. Yeah, Emdiel is rich now. Off of the turret alone. Yeah, that's enough money for another longsword and a finished Duskblade. And they trade turrets pretty much. But good on red team to gain first turret, obviously. First turret gold got also changed. It is no longer this abnormal sum of, I think, 600 gold in total if you combine global gold with local gold with global gold. But it's still very significant. I think it's still 450 or something. Wait, how did that happen? It was the tower, right? I think it was the tower. Just another incentive, if you watch this, to never attempt a tower dive. Yeah, look at the damage the tower does. Even through the heal of the Jinx. Yeah. Don't dive. Don't dive, it's not worth it. Talon killing the Graves though. That was close, but it worked in the end. Right, Emdiel's stacking up the Dark Harvest though. He's at 8 stacks already. Since this tower is gone, they should be looking to take the next objective. So, yeah, Dragon is on the map obviously. Ocean Drake is very good in lane. Lane phase is over though, but still it's worth taking, especially since the first Drake of each Elemental Drake got buffed, so it's more valuable to take that Drake. Emdiel, however, he's alone. None of his teammates are bot side, and yeah, obviously enemies are missing. With Long showing bot side, he cannot push against her definitely. So yeah, push past river and then do something else. Always a nice call in the mid game, especially when you don't know what to do. Just push a lane past river and then appear somewhere else on the map. Don't stay alone as an AD carry on the map for too long with the enemy having vision on you, because that's just asking to get killed by them. Emdiel wisely choosing to join his team there. The Rakan is his backup, but if Rakan initiates... wow, the Duskblade damage with the crit. If Rakan initiates... well, Emdiel loves Rakan. Emdiel loves Rakan as a support, and I would guess he loves him as a mid laner too, because if Rakan initiates, you can... It's almost like a Morgana, you can just press R and see what happens. And I think he's looking for a play. He does have his ulti, doesn't he? Yeah. It's off cooldown. And now that turret platings have fallen, they should be able to take this turret quite easily. Once the platings fall, turret's armor and magic resist gets reduced to 0. So yeah, this is going... yeah, it's taking a lot of damage out of the turret. Alright. Alistar engaging on the Misfortune, but they have enough peel, obviously. Rakan can peel. Thresh can peel. So Misfortune gets away. Relatively unscratched. Graves attempting to take this dragon. He doesn't have a control ward though, which is concerning. However, the enemy team doesn't seem to react and they try to fight. MF picking up the kill on the Alistair. He obviously got hooked again, so that was kind of free. Lucky hooking a minion. Oh, the Blanc might be looking to jump on the Misfortune. They're trading Dark Harvest stacks there, so nobody dies, so that's okay, I guess. And now the Ocean Drake kicks in. Yeah, this tower should be gone. LeBlanc is too low to attempt anything. Alright, and now that the mid turret has fallen, they should be looking to get top lane in a decent spot, because you don't want these minions to be always pressuring the tier 2. It's already almost gone. So you really need to take this turret so you can push the... so you can, yeah, make the safe move of just pushing past River and Roam. Because if you push past River and Roam, if this turret is there, the minion wave will bounce back into your territory in no time. So you really need this outer turret, else the top lane will be continuously under pressure for your side of the map. Oh well. Dragon is taken by red team, which is nice. And next objective, yeah, Emdiel finished as I predicted. He finished his Ghostblade after Dustblade. And working on his eyeball collection, which is also nice. And next, yeah, the pings are coming. Next objective, obviously the Rift Herald. And with Rift Herald they could even be looking to take the tier 1 and the tier 2. So, sounds like a plan. Maybe they executed correctly. Graves, does he have a control ward with him? Yes, he does. Huh. Emdiel does still no control ward. I'm not too sure about this. Emdiel doesn't seem to be buying control wards at all, but I would strongly disagree with that decision. Right, enemies are busy. No control ward in the pit, which I also find sketchy. Alright, alright. Still got it. Yeah, it's always safer to, well, take objectives when you have full vision control. So if you attempt this in your solo queue games, please put a control ward there. I always get anxious when I see plays like this. Or plays like these, rather. And you're also doing okay-ish farm-wise, 130 at 17-18 minutes. It is somewhat behind the game timer, but I personally think it's very hard to farm in this patch because, well, minion move speed got increased and they are in the, well, the waves don't stack the way they used to. They are just under your turret way faster than you expect them to. The Blanc with Dark Harvest is obviously nasty as well. Nice. Just every little bit of advantage you can get is important, obviously. You're not only denying the enemy the 60 gold, but you're also, well, gaining them yourself. Casually missing the cannon minion there. Alright, finally, please, go on and take this top turret. It's very important. Okay. Hey, it even shows the bounties in the menu here. Oh, sorry. So distracted. Okay, LeBlanc is pretty much which is the reason Emdiel can take her on 1v1. Normally you don't want to challenge the enemy mid laner like this, but if she really cannot fight, she had access to one spell. She used her root, but yeah, it's definitely not enough to kill a full health Misfortune. If she cannot, if she doesn't have access to a full rotation, yeah, you don't need to be afraid of her. But this is the exception. Normally a mid laner can kill you in no time as an AD carry. Well, pretty much anyone can, but since she was out of mana, no problem there. Right, they even take this without Rift Herald, it seems, which is nice because you typically don't want to waste Rift Herald on tier 1s. Especially, well, in the mid lane maybe, because mid lane tier 1 is actually kinda hard to take, since the enemies can come to its aid from all from both directions pretty much. So there's an argument for doing tier 1 mid lane with Rift Herald, but that's gone. So maybe they can get tier 2, which is also hard to take. Tier 2s in general are harder to take than tier 1s because of how the map works. Yeah, but Graves is still holding on to it, and Dragon is spawning soon. Huh. Okay. Okay, Graves going for the counter jungle. Emdiel just took red buff and now takes chickens, which is fine. You need gold as an AD carry. You need farm. Alice has caught out. Emdiel not there in time though. Nice damage. Okay. Interesting. He gets him low, below half, with his Q, and then the ticks from the red buff trigger Dark Harvest. Yeah, everything triggers Dark Harvest. It's so easy to trigger. This is the main problem with the rune. A rune that is basically unconditional damage, because getting the enemy low is what you would attempt anyway. So it's nothing you do extra compared to Electrocute, where you need to hit 3 spells or autos. Yeah, right, one after the other. It's something you really need to do. It's something that stops the rune from being abused, but Dark Harvest doesn't have that. Everybody tries to get the enemy low. Okay, and this Rift Herald, kind of awkward, but it was about to expire. Now you really need to protect it, else it won't do anything. Oh, and the Blanc just eating the Rakan, and yeah, that's the issue. In my opinion, taking this dragon was a mistake. They really should have just pushed mid as a team, or maybe lure them to another lane and then place the Herald. And then, while the Herald is already charging at a turret, then you can take dragon. You maybe get a turret off it or a lot of damage onto the turret. But a Herald like this, just wasted. Yeah. But on the other hand, obviously Graves was forced to place it since it was about to run out. On the other hand, you might just well just let it expire if all you're gonna do with it is give the enemy 25 kill gold. Oh well. Sad use of a Rift Herald. Let's look at items. Oh yes, he did do it. He went for another serrated dirk before finishing his Lord Dominic's regards. I think Emdiel rarely goes for Mortar Reminder. It's almost always Lord Dom's. Yeah, because it's just 10% more armor penetration. And also in the enemy team, we don't really have anyone who heals. Maybe Jinx once she gets some lifesteal items, but it's not worth getting a lot. Oh goodness, it's not worth getting a Mortar Reminder for that, obviously. Right, so they are preparing Baron, it seems, which is a good move. You always need to take the objectives, and turrets are way easier to take with Baron, obviously. On the other hand, they for sure cannot just go there and start it, because then the other team can engage them. They're pretty even in the score. Red team just has a lot of map pressure, but they will get outscaled eventually, especially because of the gangplank. Yeah, mid tower falls here. Right, with Emdiel they might be able to fight. Yeah, now the engage comes. And the ulti. A little bit late on the ulti. This is why I like boots, but... oh, still very nice. And another Dark Harvest proc. Alright, Emdiel falls. But he got a lot of damage there, and he even got himself a triple kill. Yeah, and you saw I think he got his Dark Harvest once there, and then there again, so he triggered it multiple times in a fight. Which is obviously the strength of the rune, that it just resets. It's very good on reset champions. Well, it's very good on everyone who wants to deal damage. Everyone who wanted Eerie for damage or Electrocute can also use Dark Harvest. Yikes. At the Jinx rocket. This is an iffy Baron. Graves being behind Baron is also bad because you do less damage to Baron when you're behind it. Okay, but at least he escaped from the other star. And you see Emdiel now with his core items, which is, yeah, Ghostblade, Dustblade, Lord Doms, and Edge of Night. So it's very strong right now. Compare that to the Jinx, she has 2 completed items plus boots. Emdiel didn't bother with boots, and he has 2 more items. Crit items are so expensive, this is why crit AD carries are so bad right now. They're super expensive. Well, Jhin does kinda well, but even though he buys crit items, but this is because Jhin has such a great synergy between his kit and Stormrazor. And Infernal Drake is spawning in 20, obviously you still want to chase the objectives. And Infernal Drake is huge, especially for Misfortune with this build. Infernal Drake buffs all of your items, since, well, everything she bought was AD. And a stopwatch, so going for GA now. Does make sense considering there is an AD assassin in the enemy team and also the Blanc. So GA or stopwatch will come in handy, definitely. Alright. And there's a stopwatch. The Emdiel was in a rough spot there. Let's just look at this again. Right, they attack the dragon, they get challenged. And Gangplank obviously threatens to kill the Misfortune outright, so she needs to stopwatch there. Yeah, that was a nice use of stopwatch. Not getting yourself assassinated by the Gangplank. Obviously the ulti was not picture perfect, but Emdiel didn't have the time to set up his ulti properly. He maybe could have kited upwards, well, anticipating somebody would come for him. But yeah, it's so hard in a situation like this because they could come from both sides, right? But now blue team got kind of blown out, and red team on top of that got the dragon. Blue team did not even manage to steal it. And I think, yeah, with Baron they definitely lose 1 inhib here. They should reset now. This is greedy. They go for this. This is super greedy. They just ask to die. Yeah, good on them. Because the enemy's respawning, they respawn with full health, full mana, and have just bought items. So you definitely recall in this situation. So what does he buy? Maybe a Guardian Angel? Or a BF Sword rather? Okay, he's not in base, he just took the red buff, taking his enhanced recall, and now he has a BF sword on top of that. Yeah, that's very nice. This would obviously upgrade into a Guardian Angel, but the extra AD will, with the Infernal Drake, well, even without the Infernal Drake, extra AD is always good in Misfortune, always. So BF sword, nice pickup. And the next team fight, I mean, considering they have Baron buff, the next team fight might decide it. Okay, I just looked here and spoiled myself. Maybe I should turn this off again. I reduced it in size so it doesn't overlap with my face cam, but no, it's a spoiler again, which I don't like. Oh well, just let me know in the comments what you think. How should I do it? Should I turn this off? I think you prefer that, but just tell me again. Right, Emdiel going in with his active items. Nice hook. Nice ult. Yeah, you can just trigger Dark Harvest over and over again. And this is finished, definitely. There's no way they're going to live that. Baron expired, but the numbers disadvantage is too huge. Yeah, they try to do something, obviously, but it's no use. They get the Graves, but in return they lose their base and they die. Nice, good game. I mean, what is there to say? Emdiel always uses Dark Harvest, and right now the rune is just completely busted, so it's an easy choice. If you want to win with Misfortune, just pick Dark Harvest right now until it gets hotfixed again, or changed, or nerfed, or even outright removed from the game, or whatever. I think in its current with its current design, the rune will not be there to stay. I'm very sure about this. It's just impossible to balance. It's either overpowered or it's utterly useless. Those are the two options. But hey, this is 8.23 Dark Harvest Misfortune. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you did, and if you want to see more Misfortune stuff, and especially preseason stuff, it's right there on the screen. Just click on it, or if you want to watch it later, you can subscribe. Alright, thank you a lot, and see you tomorrow.